Check this out. Y'all know I drop in and do these little spiritual messages. Well, I ain't gonna say little because I ain't gonna put little in front of spiritual because spiritual is big, it's everything, right? It was first, it was spiritual before it was this, right? So, I just want to real quick, I just want to play something on y'all mind. And I'm talking about the mind because the mind is the most important. The mind is the most important thing. So I'm speaking about the mind. So what I wanted to let y'all know is, it's the reason why God said the man is the head, right? What's in the head? It's a brain. And, women are vastly different because they're more of the heart. You know what I'm saying? It's more about what they feel than what they think, because like when the serpent approached Eve in the garden, it said the pitch was, I can make you as God, right? So she just felt it. Like she felt like, yeah, I want to be powerful. She felt it. She didn't really think about it. And she went for it because she didn't think about it. But the serpent knows she was disconnected from her man, which was her head, which was her thinker. So the thing about that is, if Adam would have been present, or a thinker, or a person that analyzed with their brain instead of with their heart, the question would have been to the serpent, how could you make me a god and you're a snake? Why haven't you made yourself a god? You cap, get on. Like, bruh, bye, we ain't buying that. Babe, he tripping like, hey, nah, go on. You feel me? Easy. But Lucifer knew that, Eve wasn't going to think about it. She felt about it. So with that being said, I want to give y'all some strategies of thinking, some ways to, I know y'all probably hear that train in the background, but it's all good. I ain't never going to stop this message. But I want to give y'all some strategies about thinking, right? And I don't know if people think this way, but this is the way my mind works. And I feel like this is the most proficient way to think because you have to think with a strategy, right? Thinking has a beginning and end. It has two parts. That's why God introduced himself two parts. I'm Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Meaning, I'm the beginning, part that's hard, that you don't like, the dark part, and I'm the end, when everything's a party and, both of them are me, so don't be afraid of the beginning. That's me too. It's a part of the process. I'm the beginning and the end, right? Okay, so the thing about it is, people die, people get hurt, people ruin their lives, they ruin other people's lives because of their inability to think, right? So this is an example. I was in a car with my homeboy one time, and we was headed to Houston, and we was behind another car, and the car was taking all day, right? So he got impatient. He drove off the curve and towed something up under the car, and we had to go park. And it took us about 3 hours to fix it. So we was late going to our function. But the way my mind works is I analyze that situation and see, okay, because you didn't want to be behind this car for maybe 45 more seconds, at the longest a minute. You drove off the side of the curve and cost us 3 hours because you didn't want to spend a minute. So you have to know how to cut your losses. And you can't let a small loss be disguised as a big loss. And because you didn't analyze the big loss, you end up running right into it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people be in a hurry to get places and they in the curb. So to cut maybe 5 minutes off their trip, they pass in the curb and get hit by a diesel. Now you just lost probably what would have been 40 more years of your life because behind 5 minutes. You feel what I'm saying? Another example, my and but everybody say, when it's your time, it's your time. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. But my boy called his grandma to come pick us up, right? So when his grandma came and pulled up, she blew a couple times and she left. And he went off. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, she always do that, man. This stupid stuff. Woo, woo, woo. But this is the way my mind works. I said, bro, before you called your grandma, you could have took 30, 45 seconds to put your shoes on, your socks and shoes on, and get ready. So when she came, we could have went straight outside. But since you didn't take 2 or 3 minutes to put not 2 or 3 minutes, but a minute maybe to put your socks and shoes on, now we 4 more hours finding another ride to the store because you didn't spend 30 seconds putting your shoes on. Y'all get what I'm saying? You have to analyze life like that. You got to learn how to think about what's on the other side and take the lesser punishment. Take the lesser, both of the things you might don't want to do, but learn how to take the lesser one, right? So that's just like if you into it with somebody you love, right? If y'all into it, okay, you got this person is probably telling you, y'all into it, y'all ain't talking. You did something wrong, right? So it's awkward and it hurts you and it hurts your pride to call them and apologize and admit that you was wrong. And that takes what? To apologize, that's 30 seconds a minute. But you will let your emotions convince you not to make that call. And especially y'all women. You will let your emotions convince you not to make a 2-minute call that could fix it. But you'll spend the rest of your life trying to spite and torture this man behind a 2-minute call you couldn't make. Learn how to take the lesser of the two. Make the call. Save yourself the hurt. That's simple. That's simple. No, I don't want to comply with what this police is saying because I don't like his attitude. I know he wrong. But I don't want to die tonight either. You got to learn how to think both ways. You got to learn how to analyze things from both ends of the spectrum. And people don't use their mind like that, bro. Like, I very easily come to them decisions now. It's something you got to develop. It's a strategized way of thinking you got to develop. But I very easily come to those decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's like for example, right? Like, you can get up and go to work for a week. And that week you got up and went to work could save you for a whole month. Could save you for a whole month. People don't want to spend 8 hours on a job. Dudes, you don't want to spend 8 hours on a job, right? Because that's too much time. So you go pick up some dope and you end up spending 10 years, 12 years in jail. because you don't want to spend a couple of hours of your day working. You get off work. You can come home for 12 hours, do whatever you got to do. You don't get off jail. You got to think that way, bro. It's always two things that you don't want. Learn how to pick your poison, people. Learn how to pick your poison. It's two things you don't want in most all situations. Pick the lesser of the two. I don't want to let this dude talk to me like that. No, but I know I ain't got no pistol. But I don't want to die. You got that. Simple. You got that. I done seen people literally commit suicide because of their emotions. Because of their emotions don't have no thinking power. And they do some of the craziest stuff because their inability to think, like, just like, I know people, I like, just say, I know people, right? Just say like two people hang together, right? And one of them got all the other one's secrets. Got all their secrets. So that should make you understand it's a way that I got to handle situations, right? But how could you get in your feelings and do something spiteful or try to hurt a person that got something on you, a person that got something on you, because you know, okay, I don't want to feel the way that they making me feel. They made me mad. I don't like this. You being mad at them is better than you doing something to hurt them and then they go and ruin your reputation. Feel what I'm saying? And basically I'm saying, like, it's a lot of situations where you got to ease your hand out of the lion's mouth. Stop crashing out. Stop crashing out. Learn how to think. Start looking at both ends of the spectrum. Satan is against your mind. Satan is against your mind. Satan does not want you to think. Everything that's in your body fights against your brain, your heart, your feelings, your emotion. It fights against your mind. Because thinking is safety. Thinking saves you. Why do you think cavemen and Neanderthals' bones were so thick? Because they couldn't think. They didn't know how to be safe. They might fall off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? Some people, people that get it. Those that don't. But in every situation, there's two things that you don't want to do. Don't crash out. It might hurt to, take that lick, but that's the smaller lick. You feel what I'm saying? Like last example, right? Like, it's like your parents tell you you can't go somewhere. You don't want to be cooped up in the house. But you don't want to get a beating and be put on punishment and can't go nowhere for the next month. So because you can't handle being cooped up in the house for a few hours, you ruin your whole month. Those are two things that you don't want to do. Pick the lesser of the two. Look at life that way. Thank you. And you know, whenever that drop, you know, whenever stuff drop in my mind, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna get on here and say it. So, you know, these messages is real important if you can catch them. So, you know, got a lot more coming. I'm gonna start doing this a lot more. But yeah, bro.